Okay, let's get started.
Just raise your glasses high. Just one sweet
Turtle time.
Hey, Tom Cruise. Daft Punk called and they want their helmet back. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, TMZ has reported that Tom Cruise left the Sunset Tower last night wearing a huge motorcycle helmet and then hopped on a red Ducati motorcycle and sped away going 100 miles per hour. I think his only mission, should he choose to accept it, was getting home quickly and safely. Amy, have you ever seen Tom Cruise ride a motorcycle that fast?
I wish. That's the ultimate sighting. The only people I saw at Sunset Tower were Sofia Vergara and Harvey Keitel.
Oh, that's pretty good though. Kind of.
And then I saw Harvey Keitel again at LAX.
Was that oh, so you've seen him twice? Not they were
Yeah.
around the same time. Oh my God, Harvey Keitel. Oh my God. Oh, he's been in so many films when you think about it. Probably over 50, right?
Yeah. Famously, I for the first time saw The Last Temptation of Christ, and he's Judas.
Oh my God.
It's kind of weird.
Kind of weird. What weird
You're like,
casting?
that's Harvey Keitel.
Yeah. And even Willem Dafoe. Some people were like, they're like, I know Jesus Christ, and they're like
And that ain't it.
Yeah, kind of odd casting, but as we've said before, a very controversial film. But actually, Martin Scorsese is kind of, he admits he's religious. So, was it controversial? But anyway, I was going to ask you because this TMZ report just came out about the Sunset Tower. It was two huge sightings. I don't know if you read this article, but Tom Cruise walked out with a helmet. He jetted off into the night going 100 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden the paparazzis were like, damn, like we couldn't catch him. Like one person was on a scooter trying to catch him and he was ripping ass going so fast. And they're like, fuck, our night is ruined because Tom Cruise didn't give them shit. He didn't even lift the visor.
Yeah.
But then they go, who else is going to come out of this doorway? Sofia Vergara. And then all of a sudden they look and it was Leonardo DiCaprio came out
Wow.
right after him. Did you see that?
Was he, what did he look like? Was he obscuring his face as usual?
He was wearing his One Battle After Another costume, a robe or whatever, and a beanie. And so they go, it said, TMZ put it so like kind of in a humorous light. They go, the paparazzis were so, they didn't even have time to settle down after Tom Cruise because they got a huge,
They were hooting and hollering. When you said Sofia Vergara again, I just remembered that I saw her at Bergdorf's. So I've seen both of those people twice.
Holy shit. They're kind of they're like, in a way, they're in your celebrity inner circle.
They're haunting me.
Did you ever read Kurt Vonnegut, Cat's Cradle?
No, should I?
Well, you should, only because there's this one fun like principle in it where it's like if you see the same people over and over in your life and they're not actually your friends, that they're actually part of your like karmic circle. Like there's 7 or 8 people that just like flow through your life, and it always that stuck with me since I was in high school when I read it. So in a way, you might say that Harvey Keitel and Sofia Vergara
Ragtag bunch.
But yeah, I mean, so how is the Sunset Tower? I've never been.
Ugh, it's beautiful. We should go. Add it to the list of places we have to go get a martini.
Oh, can we just put that? Can we have that evergreen list going on in the Turtle Time Google Drive?
Yes.
Can we put Sunset Tower and Musso and Frank's together, sort of in tandem?
It's kind of great because anyone can go. Like you could just make a reservation, but you feel very exclusive and like celebrities actually go there. So you will probably see someone.
That is so cool.
It's expensive, but I think it's worth it for the experience.
Dress up a little bit for me on my
Yeah.
end. Yeah, all
Yeah.
right, just for the fun of it. All right. Or I could pull a full-blown Tom Cruise and just wear a motorcycle
Wear a
helmet. in
helmet.
there. People would be like,
Yeah.
holy shit. They'd be like, who is that person?
He's like, let's talk.
Yeah.
You're immediately a Scientologist.
Yeah, oh my God. If Tom
Yeah.
Cruise wanted to talk to me for 2 minutes is about Scientology, yeah, I'm going to the Dianetics Center in like 5 minutes. I mean, great. I think a great start in sort of the celebrity news aspect of Turtle Time news segment, but there was a lot of sort of Bravo news that was bubbling up. I think for me, what kind of shot like a cannon through my shot out of a cannon into the sky was the Summer House in the City teaser that came out right after we recorded for our Wednesday episode. Did you see this?
It was so informational. It had so much going on. It was Kyle throwing a beach ball and Lindsay Hubbard laughing into the sky. Amanda doing a little dance.
But it was sort of, in a way, it was a little more deceptively simple than it actually had a little more layers to it. And I'm just talking about the layers of clothing that they were wearing. Kyle starts out with a beach ball and sunglasses and a tank top, and he's laughing to the sun. And he's kind of like, you know who this is. This is me at the beach. But then when he throws
this before,
yeah, it's like I have no questions. You know what I mean? It's like got it. That's Kyle. But then he throws the volleyball at the camera. The camera person kind of shakes from the impact of it. And then when the ball drops, he's wearing a cardigan and the leaves are changing and he's drinking a kind of like a coffee, I guess. And it's supposed to tell you, hey, we're in a different season. So I thought that was sort of provocative in a way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'll eat it up. I thought it was interesting. It was only the three of them.
Yeah.
And I watched a video of Carl talking about it, and he was sort of not dodgy. It sounded like he didn't know what his involvement would be. Like, he was like, it's sort of about people's next phase of life, like being married, having kids. He was like, obviously I have a business. So, and I'm like, it seems obvious that Carl would be a part of it, but I don't know. I also, we talked about that each of us watched Amanda and Sierra on Watch What Happens Live, and Amanda revealed something we kind of already knew, but she said that her and Kyle have been living apart since just before BravoCon. So it's been like a while at this point.
Yeah. Andy was stunned. He's like, whoa. He goes, that's a long time. And Amanda was trying to like downplay it. She was like, yeah, a couple of months or whatever. But yeah, a long time of living separately.
But like, so would that mean if they already filmed what's it called?
It's called
City.
I hope I can be frank.
Yeah,
I wish it was
keep a pin in it. It's like hard to remember.
It's kind of like, of all the titles in the world, I've heard of some odd titles like Next Gen NYC and stuff like that, but In the City, and it's not even Summer House : In the City, because it doesn't take place in summer. I'm just like, what the hell kind of branding is this?
In the City.
In the City.
Yeah, I'm like never gonna remember that. So like if they already filmed it and it's fall, that means we just like get to see her moving out.
I think so. I think they got lightning in a bottle. Whatever is a bad version of lightning though for them, but I'm saying entertainment wise, lightning in a bottle. They captured the demise of their marriage even more so than what we're seeing on Summer House, which is already very bad. Like, we're probably going to see
I could count on them.
Oh, they timed it perfectly with the schedule of Bravo programming. So I was also like you. I'm confused to the Carl aspect of this, why he wasn't invited. It seems so clear that he should have the same sort of red carpet rolled out for him in terms of this new spinoff that's dedicated to the OGs. But who knows? Maybe he will get invited at some point.
I'm sure he'll be popping his head in. I don't know, maybe we'll just do our little tidbits since we're talking about Summer House. But I think the most important thing was that Sierra complimented West's fashions. And she was like, I actually love the way he dresses. I love that he wears Timbs. He doesn't dress like a finance bro. He looks cool. And she goes, I love his ass in jeans. And Andy's like, do you love his ass out of jeans? And she was like, very much so. And I was like, damn, girl.
Yeah. She was, I mean, they were major compliments. And then I think even Andy kept going. I think he got in his ear, like, ask this question. And he goes, what makes West a good boyfriend? And Sierra started to answer the question. Amanda was like, you're going to answer that of what makes him a good boyfriend? And then she was really like smiling as she thought about it. And then I think they landed on his parents are wonderful. But there was a lot of pro-West talk. And then there was even that, what do they call those polls where it said, should Sierra and West, do we still ship them as a couple? And it was 92%. People have forgiven West. You remember what we had to deal with 2 years ago?
Both the West and the Carl turn around. I'm like, welcome back to sanity.
Yeah. It's like, God, could you imagine if we had like swapped sides all of a sudden? We became anti-Carl and West. It's like all we had to do was just bide our time And then everyone's like, we love West. What the hell are you talking about? It's like, I remember bad commentary about West. But that was, I got to say, in my household, this is a secret, but Megan is kind of has been whispering in my ear that she thinks that it's quite possible that West and Sierra even had a little fling post this summer, and that there's some little evidence that you can see. And so then that was like what's the JFK
Smoking
magic
gun.
bullet? That was like the magic bullet theory. She was like, holy shit, look at the way she's talking about West on Watch What
Right.
Happens Live. So who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that's really fun and enticing. It seemed like coming up on this season, they get emotional, which I can't wait. Because obviously they just like love each other, period.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of if they're going to date or not. But Amanda also said that she was talking about they have shared custody of the dogs. Like they each take one, because she said that actually the dogs like having time apart because they are litter mates who kind of get in little scraps. And so she was like, actually, it works for me to take one and him to take the other. And then if one of us is traveling, we'll take both. And it sounded like a pretty good solution. But she said, Andy was like, is there any chance that you guys would get back together? And she didn't say no. She was like, probably not. But honestly, like, that's up to us. And, you know, we'll see. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. And Andy was asking a lot of questions, which, you know, good for him as a host of a show that asks questions to people. But he was like, who do you think will date first? And Amanda said, probably me. Like, she's ready to go out there. So it was a very interesting. Although I will say Andy started to blow it when that Jesse Solomon cartoon started coming out. All of a sudden the energy like completely was sucked out of the
They
room.
had technical difficulties.
And then Andy was like pissed for the last 5 minutes of their episode. It kind of squandered it. I was like, what the hell happens? Watch What Happens Live is like this.
Yeah. I have both Sierra and Amanda were praising the effects of Prozac. And I was like, is that the common thread for all of the girls who had the worst boyfriends of all time? Ariana, Amanda, Katie. I'm like, did they all just have depression? And that's why they were able to put up or unwilling or unable to break up for so long, because they were just like, I literally can't even get out of bed. Like, I can't get a divorce right now.
Quite possibly. I mean, at least confirmed 2 of the 4 you mentioned. I don't remember what Ariana has said about it, but yeah, I mean, quite possibly. And then I even saw Sierra on a red carpet, I think, where they were asking about her meeting Jacob Elordi, and she goes, he's wonderful, a wonderful aura. She goes, thank God for Prozac, because I think I would have been starstruck or, you know, what's that, you know, completely anxious, but she was just having the time of her life on Prozac, right. She said. So again, another shout out to Prozac.
Yeah, I always see on TikTok whenever there's a video of like a girl who there's something crazy happening around her, like a pipe burst or like something terrible just happened, and she's reacting like, oh, well, this sucks. And all the comments are like, what SSRI are you on? Like, I know an SSRI when I see one, because they're just like taking it with stride.
Yeah. Oh my God. Totally. Well, that's great. Any other anecdotes from Amanda and Sierra's Watch What Happens Live that struck you?
I think more will pop up randomly, but they look great. They seem good. I was happy that Amanda was kind-hearted towards Kyle. She brought up a video that I sent to you that we talked about at the premiere party or whatever it was. He was DJing and he read a little speech on mic and got verklempt talking about her, and I thought it was really sweet. And I'm like, I know everyone's loves to be like, fuck him, like, and I'm like, okay, well, she loves him. She was married to him for years and was with him for a long time, and they're still friends. So can we just like be happy that it's nice and that they weren't right for each other and they did the right thing and they're moving on? Like, why do we have to be like, he should go to hell?
Absolutely. I thought the exact same thing. It seems like they are actually in a good place from the way they're speaking to each other. I don't believe that either of them, if things were actually rocky and horrendous, that they would not be outspoken about it. So it does seem like they're in a sort of healthy separation so far, just by the way Amanda was even referring to Kyle in that heartfelt speech. I thought that was sweet too, you know?
Yeah. She said that Andy asked Sierra if she still talks to Kyle, and she says like, yeah, like her relationship with him hasn't really changed. And Amanda's like, there's no bad blood, so it's not like I told her she's not allowed to talk to him, unlike Dorit or like Kyle and PK style. She reminded us, as we talked about, that they did not have a prenup and that she regrets it, which I'm like, listen up, ladies. even Amanda, she's like, it will be fine. She's like, it could have not been fine. Like, luckily they're doing okay, that they can mediate this, I guess. But she also said, Andy was like, don't you think you should get part of Loverboy? And she was like, he worked so hard on that. I don't think, she was like, he worked harder on that than our relationship. He should keep it. And Sierra's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Andy's like, you worked hard on it too. And I'm like, yeah, maybe get a little piece.
Yeah.
Negotiate a little piece.
Yeah, you got to get a little piece of that. If I'm a divorce
Like-
lawyer, I'm saying you need a little piece.
Yeah, like maybe, like don't demand half, but get a percentage for when he gets his big sale, if that's still gonna happen.
20% or 10%. Remember, Amanda was with him wearing white scrubs, drinking the first lemon flavored Loverboy. Like, you were there at the inception of this thing. You get a little piece.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think she should get just a little small piece of the Loverboy pie. Also, the Jesse cartoon goes, would you ever date me? Would you ever date me in the summer house?
Schmanders.
And he goes, and she goes, no, cartoon Jesse. We're just friends. I don't think I would ever date you in my life. And so that really had to squelch, if that's the right word, a lot of this uproar of people saying, Jesse and Amanda, we love them now. I think people now are shipping Ben and Amanda. There are like, we already moved on, but she kind of dampened the flames or tamped down the flames of Jesse and Amanda. I feel like in that.
Didn't Sierra say something like, I would still fuck Jesse?
Oh, yeah, I think so. She didn't let that. Yeah, she told that cartoon Jesse that she would still have sex with him. So that's great. And then speaking of people in relationships or having sex or doing stuff with other people, this was huge news. Not really to me, but Bronwyn Newport announced in an Us Weekly exclusive. She said, I guess it was confirmed exclusively to Us Weekly that Bronwyn Newport is dating a model named Brandon Good, who I'm not familiar with. Do you know anything about Brandon Good?
I had not heard of him, but then someone posted that he's the model on the cover of Playgirl with Luann.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that copy when that was out with the Luann cover. I didn't
get it
remember
on
that.
eBay.
I would love to, but so I think this is a little early in their relationship to get the Us Weekly exclusive. It was like we've been on like 2 dates, and I was just like, I don't know, were we ready to know this?
It feels a little bit like PR wars. Like she is trying to rebrand very quickly, which it feels a little try hard to me. It's like, just be mysterious, be seen out with him. Why does it have to be official? It's sexier to just be like, have people whispering about it,
I think so too. I would have rather you and I be whispering about the rumors than be like, it's happening, and but it really, the article I read, it was like early stages. It was like, it feels good to go on a couple of dates. It was like really trying to reinforce that this is not a relationship that's has lasted a while. But anyway, good news for Bronwyn. I expected her to date after Todd at some point, so not a huge deal. I mean,
so help me, Todd.
Oh, it's so true. Poor Todd going to the newsstand in Seattle or wherever the hell he lives, New York. He goes to Starbucks, and then the Us Weekly's there, and it says Bronwyn Newport dating Brandon Good. He's like, fuck. He's like, shit.
He's hot.
Oh God, that guy's hot. Fuck. So he's having a horrible day at Starbucks when he gets the Us Weekly paper.
He drops his new mug that he got.
Oh, he's like, he goes, oh, this sucks. Worst Starbucks day of my life. Could it get any worse? He'd probably be like, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. And then they go, here's your coffee, sir. And he looks at the Us Weekly on the stands. He goes, fuck. I had my coffee.
Here's your coffee in your commemorative mug.
He goes,
I was at Starbucks the other day, and they have Hollywood centric merch, and I was like, I'll be damned if it's not adorable.
Really? Is it? Did you get a piece?
I did not buy, but I was like, it's cute, I'll say.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was just gonna say at the end. Todd gets his commemorative mug, and for some reason it has Todd and Brandon on it, and he'd be like, "Oh my God, that's the worst case scenario in terms of how many times I can see Brandon Good and Bronwyn dating. But anyway, let's say congratulations to Bronwyn, right?
Congrats, girl. Have fun.
They were at Roxy Hart.
What?
They were at Chicago.
Oh.
They were at the play Chicago.
With the
They were at
girl
play-
from, they have
Whitney
the
Levitt.
Mormon Salt Lake connection.
Yeah, that show that we have to like keep thinking about in our periphery for no reason, just because of the random connections to Bravo content. But anyway, yeah, Whitney Levitt or Leavitt, they said, yeah, that's where they met. And so that's kind of a phenomenal first date. But there's nothing more I can say except congratulations, Bronwyn. Great job.
Good job.
Then this is kind of big news, except I don't know what to think yet. But all of a sudden, top of my news feed when I was scouring the news today was this Rhode Island, Real Housewives of Rhode Island trailer that came out. And I was like, it really showed the limits of how much I know about Rhode Island almost instantly. They were like, Rhode Island is a state in the United States. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And they were like, it's the smallest state in the world. And I was like, oh, holy shit. And for the first 10 minutes, it's kind of just telling you about, Rhode Island in a way. What did you think about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was a little bit like the whole entire trailer was introductory. And I was like, where's the drama to reel me in? It felt like they just kept showing us who the women were and like talking about Rhode Island. I'm like, I don't really care that much about where it is. I want to see like a fight at a christening or something like that.
Well, they did show some fights. Like they did show a couple fights. Like somebody drops a pizza and then someone like slips and falls, and then there's a lot of fighting, but it's really hard to be invested in random people fighting who you don't know at all. It was like you had an affair and it's like we don't know you. Like I think the trailer should have been like, welcome to Rhode Island. It's the smallest state, in the country, and let's meet all of these cast members first. I didn't really get to know anyone before it was like showing us, fighting and all this stuff. So I couldn't really get invested at all in it yet. But I assume they're going to like roll out obviously more stuff and we'll get more and more excited about it.
They kept being like, in their conversations, they'd say, the smallest state with the biggest drama. And I was like, do you guys always refer to the state that you're in?
Yeah.
I'm like, California, the golden state with not so golden drama.
Yeah. Yeah, with not so golden pure-hearted intentions. Yeah, it's like, well, I never say like, look at me. I'm like in California, a big state, but look at me. I'm in a big state in the West, but I'm in But they were, you're right. Half of the trailer was like, we're in a tiny state, but you'd have to tell us. It's like we're a tiny state.
Los Angeles has a larger population than a lot of states, and I'm still running into your ass.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. God, I can't think of one attribute of California. Like we're West, but
from the ocean to the snow.
Yeah, you could say you can get to Big Bear from the beach in 1.5 hours, but what kind of?
We can't even do one.
They say you can get from the beach to snow in 1.5 hours, but I'm not leaving Hollywood because I love it here so much. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff like that. It's a tiny state, but you'd have to pry that out of me because we feel like it's the center of the universe. So I'm excited to get a sense of these new cast members, and you and I mean, we basically just got homework for another year.
Did it have a premiere date?
Oh, it probably did, but I for some reason I forgot to write it down. I bet it'll be coming out in like the next month, don't you think?
Let me see. Does it say April 2nd?
Yeah.
So
okay.
that's
Oh,
soon.
you said that. You said what it is, April 2nd.
Yep.
So okay. All right. That's basically a month. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to think of a California thing, but I'm going to leave it to Turtle Time listeners. If you lived in California and you were doing a franchise, but you referred to your state instead of your city, what are some kind of things you'd say to sort of counter some of the attributes of the state that you live in and do a twist on it to tell friends? that's sort of the assignment. Lastly, I know this bubbled up on your radar because you sent it to me, but there was a dramatic moment on Masked Singer recently where, I was a little worried because all of a sudden this character named Chala Lilly comes out. And in the Masked Singer audience, they don't know who it is. So I was a little worried when Chala Lilly started singing like just the two of us, or did you hear the song?
She sang a John Cougar Mellencamp song.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just a little worried. I was on pins and needles that the audience was going to go boo. Like traditionally, it's a rabid audience. Like they're awful. So I was so worried that Chala Lilly was going to get the typical Masked Singer reception of boos and thumbs down and like tomatoes and stuff. But I think that there was deference to Chala Lilly. And then they go, pull the head off. And everybody goes, Ken Jeong is like, somebody help it. Chala Lilly, get the head off. It was like 2 minutes of trying to pry Chala Lilly's head off. And then finally the anticipation, I was like, holy shit, who is Chala Lilly? But it was Teddi Mellencamp under there, which
Right. I was growing concerned when she couldn't get the head off. I was like, they were like, help her. I was like,
yeah. I was like, yeah. And all of a sudden there was like that emergency team that was like prying
They'd use
it.
the jaws of life.
Yeah, but then Teddi Mellencamp, reveals herself as Chala Lilly, and I was like, oh, that got the reception that we all wanted. I was so proud of her. And like to do that and to have fun and to get that uproarious reception after the initial booing and stuff. It was really nice, like a reclamation, of Teddi. So I was proud of her.
Yes.
Did you watch all the stuff about it? Like, did you see her singing and stuff?
A little bit. It's so funny that they're supposed to guess who it is when it's just completely auto-tuned. Like first of all, she's not known for her voice, so how would you ever know? I guess is the format of the show that they just give you clues throughout.
Yeah.
Like it would be like, she's the daughter of a famous singer. She was a housewife. She was,
Yep.
2 T's in a pod.
Yeah.
whatever.
They're like she hosts a podcast where the first name is T, and then she's the daughter of John Cougar Mellencamp, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm going to take a stab at this and figure out who it is. With Tom Sandoval, I remember, because that's when I was really piped into Masked Singer. It was like, this squid is one of the most loathed people in the universe. He's got a scandal down in the bottom of the sea that's really big. And it was like, oh my God, that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
That it's Tom.
Didn't Candy do it?
Yeah.
I forget what her creature was.
I love seeing these creatures. Luann did it, and she was a huge butterfly. I love
Sheena was a bat.
Sheena was a bat, and oh God, I'll never forget how bummed out Sheena was.
Of course, Candy's is weird. It's the night angel.
Oh my God, the best creatures in Hollywood are now on Masked Singer, because these aren't existing characters, right? They're creations. Chala Lilly,
Yeah, where did they go?
the Monarch, the night angel. Tom was that deep sea diving squid creature. It's like, holy shit, who is? It's like almost like Guillermo del Toro-esque in a way. But anyway, you got me started on Masked Singer, and when I get started, I can't stop. But I think we have to stop.
We should go.
Yeah, would we be able to get tickets?
I'm sure.
Do you ever go to that liveaudiences.com site?
No. I think the only thing like that I've done is I've been to The Price is Right twice.
Oh, right.
Very fun. I went to a live taping of the Spice Girls performing on the Dancing with the Stars stage, but it was for like a UK show, but like I got to see the Spice Girls. But I do want to try and go to Dancing with the Stars next season. I am going to their live tour.
Really?
I decided to embrace my fandom.
That's awesome. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, huge news in the live audience front.
Did I tell you that, the Olympic rugby player Ilona Maher?
No, I don't.
You might recognize her. She was on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
She goes to my gym, and I told her I loved her on Dancing with the Stars. I got up the courage. I saw her like 10 times, and finally I was like, gotta say I loved you on Dancing with the Stars.
What did she say?
She's very nice.
Really? You are having encounters all over this city. You see
Whipping it up in LA.
You see a celebrity. The last one I saw, I told you this. I saw Billy Zane. And I wouldn't stop talking about it for 3 months. You see everybody all the time. That's great. Does Drew Carey, when you're at Price is Right, does he run up and down the aisles high-fiving everybody?
I don't remember him coming into the aisles, but he's great. You come out of it loving him. He's very sweet and cool.
Whew. All right. Okay. All right. Well, good. Well, that's the news of the day. 30 minutes of
That's
news.
all the news you can use.
That's all the news you can use. A lot of stuff there. Celebrity news, dating
Just
rumors.
focus on our news. Don't think about all the real news. Just think about this kind of thing.
This is the news.
It's better for your brain.
Turtle Time has the news. Turtle Time, it's really, this is the news. All right, anyway, let's move on from news and let's go to this show called Southern Charm that you and I love to recap.
Ba-ba-doo.
Papa-dee-dee-dee. Woo-hoo. I gotta tell you something, a huge update. Miss Patricia, when she sent me that book in the mail of Eat, Drink, and Remarry,
Yeah.
I didn't look at it because I had just gotten it right before we recorded, and I said, "Oh my God, I don't know if there's a signature in it," because I didn't look hard enough. On page 3, there was a beautiful signature from Miss Patricia saying "Best wishes, Riley."
Oh,
So
It has your name.
yes, so it was so
Cute.
sweet. I can't even believe it. I want to talk about it forever. And then I DM'd her and I said, "Miss Patricia, thank you so much. This is so sweet." And she goes, "Let me know if you like it." So I'm gonna read it and let her know.
Please.
But-
I'll read it after you.
Yeah.
It's a great title.
Yeah, it's funny and witty and perfectly up aligned
I
with
want
her
to. I
sensibility.
read Andre Leon Talley's book, so I want to hear. I'm sure there's Andre Leon Talley stories in there, which I will take everyone I can get.
Oh, good. Then you're gonna be like a pig in shit because I think there's even photos of him.
Fuck yeah.
So, all right, well, that was Southern Charm update, but we got to talk about this episode, which is about a kind of an interesting little new wrinkle in the Southern Charm universe, which is that Sally is going to use something that she heard secondhand via Shep to try to, in a way, majorly sabotage Craig and Charlie's relationship. And I think that that's probably the most accurate assessment you could make about it, considering that she didn't actually know what was said. And then she uses it to drive a wedge between Craig and Charlie multiple times in this episode. I really felt like it was like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting it. And all at Whitner's beautiful Itchy Grass farm. I was like, this kind of has some of the hallmarks of a classic Southern Charm episode in a way, being an Itchy Grass.
Don't get me started on Itchy Grass. It's a dream.
It's a dream, but you know what I have to say about Itchy Grass?
What?
That dad, I'm going to get pissed. That dad should not have named it Itchy Grass based off his kids complaining about tall grass and complaining and saying, "It's itchy, father. I don't like."
It wasn't a great story. He kind of acted like it was a cool story, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like think about like Bluestone Manor, how that was originated and how beautiful and evocative it is. Itchy Grass, because Whitner goes, "I'm itchy. The tall grass is itchy. Take me out of it." It's like, I'm going to name my entire farm and estate Itchy Grass after my children complaining about it. I thought, I just don't even like the name. I love the.
I think it's cute. I think it's charming.
Itchy? I hate the word itchy.
It's like Itchy Grass. It's
I mean,
like kind of like down home.
If it was Itchy Grass, one word, I'm in. But it's Itchy Grass. Like, that is the main thing you need to think about. It reminds me of Lyme disease. It reminds me of scratching and itching. And I really
You're triggered.
I really have to wonder why that father decided to name his entire estate after that.
I know someone that their parents retired onto like a ranch, and they called it the Last Penny Ranch because it's
Really?
like they spent their last penny on it.
Oh, I love that. There's 99% of names you give me for some estate or manor that people named for themselves, I'm gonna like it. I just don't like that this has a negative connotation, spawned by children.
What about like that place where Bethany gets her chicken salad, Round Swamp Farms?
Love it. Swamp. If it was called Swamp Grass, I would even like it. I'd be a little mad about the swamp, but you gotta have a good, poetic, beautiful word with swamp to round it out, like Round Swamp.
I think Itchy Grass is charming. What do you guys think? I think it's very like it sounds like the name of like a boutique or something. Like it's very like mom coded. Like I love that little boutique that has those cute little figurines, the Itchy Grass boutique. You know?
Itchy Grass. Yeah, I'd buy Itchy Grass soap. I can't stand it. So, but this is a clear divide. I don't know what to say.
You were just seething the whole time.
I go, don't even show that lower third of what it's called. And the fact that I heard the origin, I was like, this sucks. Like, Whitner, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, but beautiful land. Really, I wish I had something like that to go to, frankly.
I was like, would they know if you and I like stayed on the property? Like if they came to get, if like they went to the barn to feed the horses and all of a sudden they heard giggling in the barn loft, like how would they? It's like, how would they even know? Like, they have so much property. I was like, yeah, I would take a little piece of that and then like jump into their pool at night and then go back to the barn loft, or maybe those glamping tents are still set up. It's a lot of property. Like, section off a little piece of it.
Right. I mean, we'll get into it too, but I feel like the huge headline of the episode also is that Jimmy Buffett was his uncle.
Oh, huge. I know Craig's ears were ringing because he's like, I just got out of the Buffett family when he was dating Natalie Buffett for 3 months after Paige. And then he's like, holy shit. And now I'm hanging out with Whitner, who is formerly the nephew of Jimmy Buffett before he passed away. And then Whitner says, at some point he goes, look in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's the longest running relationship in rock history or something. I was like, where the hell did you learn that stat? They've got it all mapped out, all of the rock icons and how long they've been together. But I mean, it's a beautiful story. How close he is to Jimmy Buffett is amazing. Yeah,
it sounds awesome. When he was on Watch What Happens, Andy was like, I've met you many times at your uncle's house, because apparently Andy hung out with Jimmy Buffett. So that's maybe part of why he got cast, because whenever Andy would go, he was like, when am I going to get one of these kids on the show? And he did.
He said, when am I going to get one of these slog zags on the show? And Whitner goes, you got one. You got one of the big fish. I actually did really love, because we're talking about it now, I loved that Whitner had 5 songs. I love when people rhapsodize about their music taste, and he was so in on Jimmy Buffett. He knew 5 songs that he loves, and then Andy was like, oh, I didn't think you'd go there with your first song, and he was like, this is mine. He goes, oh, I love that song too. And then my favorite deep cuts are covers. Like, you could tell that they both were bonding over Jimmy Buffett love. Right. I really like that a lot.
Yeah. He's very confident. He was felt very unafraid that it was his first Clubhouse appearance, maybe because he already knows Andy, but he's very I don't know, he wasn't as like fun spirited as I wanted. He's a little like
terse,
mean,
I mean, he like you said, he was very confident and comfortable, but he'd be like, they'd be like, what type of lawyer is Craig? He'd be like, personal injury, and then he kept saying that kind of stuff, and then any bad thing, no matter what it was, he was like, that's Craig. To a T. So I was just like, where the hell did this Craig grudge come from? I guess we'll see. But he really likes Molly. Every good answer was Molly, and every bad answer was Craig.
Right. Which makes sense to me. I feel like I would adore Molly IRL. But yeah, so let's get into it. It starts out, there's a bunch of like little scenes that aren't particularly impactful, but Whitner and Shep check in about that dinner, Austin birthday dinner from hell, and Shep's like, that birthday dinner turned into quite a tempest.
Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. Does he mean like the Tempest?
I had an aha moment where I had never considered that the word tempestuous is tempest.
Yeah. No, I
no. Sometimes you're like unlock where you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, I think about that all the time. My brain constantly gets unlocked with stuff. And he's right. It's like a tempest is a violent, intense storm. You gotta love when Shep employs his Shakespearean love of his love of literature, and how attuned he is to Shakespearean vocab. And even when they caught him in the barn loft, Craig goes, what are you doing up in the barn loft? And he goes, I'm reading this wonderful cowboy book that was on my nightstand here. It's like he loves to read. He needs to do his top 10 books of the year so people like me can get a little taste of what he's reading. But he does say tempest, and Whitner's kind of like no nonsense, like you said. He's like, the birthday party started out good. Well, that's a good thing when birthday parties start out good. And he goes, but then it turned into a tempest. And he goes, that's to be expected when Craig and Austin are in the room.
Right.
And then he goes, and Chip goes, did you work out today already? And he goes, yes, I have a morning routine in which I work out, but you're just doing it for the first time. It's like, I want to be the guy that just says stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that. I would have a lot more conversational ability if I just.
Matter of fact. But yeah, he's like, hopefully that drama doesn't affect our upcoming weekend trip at Itchy Grass Farms.
Right.
And then there's a quit Miss Pat Whitney scene where basically all I want to say is that she's looking into getting bagpipes for Chauncey the pug's celebration of life
Yes.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Which I can't fucking wait for that.
And she's hoping Austin will take will be a participant because he loved Chauncey. I think that is so sweet. And Whitney wants to be involved. Him and his mother obviously have an interesting dynamic. He's like, I'm going to grow a 17th century walrus mustache if you don't like this one. And she goes, you're not too old enough for me to spank you. And he goes, oh, Jesus, mother. So it's always a good snapshot of what's going on, for them whenever you get in Patricia's house.
I just had my brain did the thing where it flashes like 7 different things to get to something irrelevant. And I thought Whitney, Epstein, and then Rhode Island Housewives trailer where one of them was like, I need to take an Epstein salt bath.
Yeah. Yeah, and they go Epstein, like Jeffrey Epstein. He's on the tip of everyone's tongues. We don't have to talk about Epstein too much, but it was interesting to see his email. He was like, I met the cast of Southern Charm with this Whitney guy. I don't remember any other anecdotes, but it's just so crazy that Whitney Sudler
He was
Smith was
emailing up the ass like every day, all day.
Do you think he must have had a BlackBerry?
Yeah, because his spelling was not good.
Yeah, oh my God. Say what you or say whatever you want about him, but his spelling also sucked. Yeah, total BlackBerry email vibes because he was just clicking them off. Just met Whitney Sutler Smith in the cast of Southern Charm. Spoke about a Russian model show. Gotta go now. I'm on my BlackBerry. It's like, what the hell were you doing, Jeffrey Epstein?
When Andy was talking about Bronwyn's new boyfriend, he was like, he's only 32, so he doesn't even know what a Palm Pilot is. And I'm like,
Brandon Good? Is that what he said?
Andy's saying Brandon Good doesn't know what a Palm Pilot is,
Oh.
which is probably true.
Palm Pilot.
I know what a Palm Pilot is.
Can you
I'm
remind?
37.
Can you remind me? I'm 40. I don't like. What were they?
It was like the precursor to a smartphone. It had like a screen. I think you had to use a little stylus, but it was like the first iteration of having like your email on your phone. Like it was pre-BlackBerry, obviously pre-iPhone. It was like the first version of a smart device, I guess. I think.
We didn't really give this as a defense of Jeffrey Epstein, but he could have possibly.
I'm going to clip that.
He could have possibly been so enamored to have email on his phone that's why he was ripping so many of them off. And anyway, did you see that movie BlackBerry?
I didn't, but I heard it was good.
It's awesome. It looks so like Bad and Dumb, like a parody movie.
Was it Apple?
Who made it? No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. That would be a conflict
that would
of
be
interest.
a conflict.
No, it's actually really good. It's a movie that I would never normally watch, but I just like had 2 hours and it was on Canopy, and I just decided to watch it. It's actually great. It's the opposite. It's a reverse success story, which is very interesting to me. A company that failed and got lost in time, kind of like Blue Moon. That
Jay
arc.
Baruchel?
Yeah, he plays. It's the BlackBerry story, which is the most like accelerated rise to fame and acclaim of any tech company, because it was just like Barack Obama was like, I can't live without my BlackBerry. Like that, those 5 or 10 years, they were just soaring to the moon. And then it's about the iPhone coming out and just how quickly the BlackBerry made it into the dustbin of history. It's pretty good. Well acted. The guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia who plays this like insane dickhead who started the BlackBerry company. It's good. Worth a watch if you care about old cell phone shit.
Yeah, I heard it was good. So I bet people miss the BlackBerry. I think there's something to that tactile like button that is like nice.
After this liquid metal update on the iPhone, I think everybody's clamoring for BlackBerries. You have no idea what my phone looks like right now. It looks like the liquid metal robot in Terminator 2.
I think it happened to me. I think it finally took over.
Oh,
I think I know what you mean.
there's nothing like it. Oh, it's like it just turned everything into shit. But we got to go forward now. Okay, Austin does a little bit of a tease scene, or they tease us with this scene. He goes, Madison, I got to unload on you. I can't call any of my friends. I needed to call you. And you're almost like, what the hell? Like, what's he going to say? And then he goes, my dinner was really bad. Bad birthday dinner. And then it kind of cuts off the scene. He's like looking at his cats. They're having a beautiful, wonderful moment. And then we don't see the part 2 of the scene because they want to keep what he revealed to Madison a secret until a little later in the episode.
Right. Yes. So yeah, there's all these things up until the only thing that matters, which is itchy grass. Charlie brings over the art that Craig bought and they hang it up. Sally and Molly go to a head spa and sort of just talk about Venita and how they shouldn't let that vagina modification surgery get in between them. And then we get an update that Madison is 6 weeks from birth and that she is going to go to itchy grass, but TBD on if she's going to stay over because she's so pregnant. So I forgot to bring up the last thing before they all go on their way is that Sally talks more shit about the chickens. She goes, it is time for these chickens to go. Why the fuck did I get these chickens? So it just solidifies what we thought originally.
Yeah. You have to admit now that she made a rash decision after speaking with Craig about farm life and she had an idealized version of what it would be like to grow chickens in her house. And even the dogs are like, we want to bite these chickens' heads off. And she's like, get the hell out of here. Popcorn's going to get killed. And she goes, I need these chickens out of my roost ASAP. So I think it's a ticking time bomb with these chickens, right?
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they're gone by the reunion and she's rehomed them for their own sakes. We have the cars on the way to Itchy Grass are Shep, Craig, and Whitner, and then Sally, Molly, and Charlie, and then Austin, Venita, Rhode. I don't know. I guess the most important thing from any of the cars is that Sally starts shit trying to tell Charlie because she goes, yeah, I enjoyed my date with Craig, enjoying our time together. And she goes, I heard that Craig's been going around telling everybody that you're going to fall in love with him and he doesn't want to hurt you. And he's been saying that to all the guys. And she's like, what? And Molly's like, I have a feeling that the guys were probably twisting his words. And then in her confessional, she goes, Sally's a jealous psycho.
Yeah. I actually love that a little bit of gossip that entered into the Southern Charm universe was actually, immediately sort of reoriented to where they were like, I think this has Sally's fingerprints all over it for how she warped it. Like both Charlie and Molly accept immediately that this is probably not what Craig said, which is very different from how a lot of these, rumors that come out go. But what was interesting to me is just how emphatically Sally asserts that Craig had to have said the worst possible thing, because in no way do I believe that Shep mischaracterized Craig in a malicious way to make it more salacious to Sally's ears. I 100% believe that when it got to Sally, she put the spin on it that made it the worst. I don't think that's too wild to believe. I think, and then she doubles down when Molly tries to interpret it the different way, like maybe it was twisted, Shep doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. She goes, no, that's not what's happening, he's the problem. And she's fired up, and there's different levels of how deep this rumor sets in, and there's many times where she doubles down and reasserts that this is exactly what happened, this is Craig's true intentions, and that Charlie deserves better than this. It's kind of...
She's like, this is the smoking gun that I need, and everyone's like, we're not really interested in going down this road, and she's like, you will.
Yeah, you will go down. And then there's the Craig-hating car, Austin, Venita, and Rodrigo. They're kind of like, Austin, when Rodrigo gets to Austin, he goes, look at me, I'm wearing shorts and you're wearing pants. And I was like, Rodrigo, you weren't at that birthday dinner. You heard about shorts pantsgate from Austin's birthday? That made it to the...
Andy made fun of him for it again on Watch What Happens. People were really up in arms about that, apparently.
Yeah.
They also go, what kind of a friend is Craig? We heard him call Audrey Aubrey last week, which is kind of funny.
I thought that was really funny that Craig is talking shit about this relationship. He never knew. He had never learned her real name. He called her Aubrey. And then they do a kind of a Frankenbite from Rodrigo where you don't know what the hell he said. They chopped it up to shit. It goes, did you tell Audrey about what happened at birthday dinner? And he goes, Audrey and I are done. And you see the real reactions from Vanita and Rodrigo. They open their mouths wide. And he's like, I told her something was missing. And we broke up over the phone, which is a huge scoop. But he says, hey, though, please, if this gets out, it'll be the talk of itchy grass. So keep that under your hats for a while, because I don't want to really talk about it this weekend. It's like, good luck with that.
Right. Yeah. He says, this is the first time he's initiated a breakup. She didn't do anything wrong. Something was missing. He, throughout the episode, is like feeling sad about it. And Sally calls and she's like, we're talking about Craig. And then I think who asks, they say something about Audrey and he goes, or what? How does it come up? They go, how's Audrey or something? And he goes, we'll talk about that. He
goes, Charlie's like, Charlie says something that I didn't understand. She's like, I'm alone in this. Like, we're talking about Craig, but I'm all alone. And Austin goes, well, I'll be alone with you, Charlie. And they go, alone? But you have a girlfriend, Audrey. Is anything wrong with you and Audrey? And then they go, we're going through a tunnel, because they don't want to elucidate or elaborate on that. And so then they hang up, and then that sends the other car aflutter with rumors that Austin could be in a relationship. And Sally's instantly like a flag goes into the air. She goes, red flag alert. I'm giddy as hell. I'm giddy and I like it. She instantly changes her I guess she always probably pined for Austin in a way, you can imagine, but she really declares instantly that she wants to go for Austin. For the rest of the episode, she's kind of very, very attracted to the idea of flirting with Austin now that he's single.
Right. Yeah. Rodrigo says to Austin, he goes, don't rush out and get a hand job by Sally. And he's like, I won't.
But he kind of blushes.
He probably will.
Yeah, he kind of blushes red, and you see his eyes roll back in his head while he's driving. It's like, what the hell are you thinking about that? You know what I just thought about really quickly? You know how Craig gave Whitner honey and he goes, it's from all my bees? Is he fulfilling the legacy of the Southern Charm theme song by being like, he's got honey and he's got all the honey bees?
He's got more honey than any honeybee.
Wow. Yeah. Is he like following through? Like, if we look
as the prophecy foretold.
If we're like if we read all those lyrics, is it like, holy shit, this is Craig's trajectory completely, the final lines or something about the future of Craig? Like, I was just like, holy shit, because that theme song was running in my head, and I was just like, he's got honey in all the honey bees. And now
when he started out, he's just regular Joe Blow.
Yeah, with a law degree. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell is this Southern Charm theme song predicting the future of this franchise? So anyway.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But then we get to itchy grass. Whitner's like, yeah, he's like, itchy grass. You know why it's called that. Then he's like, in Marley's Orchard. I was like,
Don't get me started on Marley's Orchard.
Sad.
You wish they just called the whole thing that.
Of course. Marley's Farm. Like, anything about, oh my God.
It was really evoking Marley in me. I was like, I can't think about, if they showed a picture of Marley, I would have been a mess.
Whitner said, he goes, don't even say, please don't talk about Marley to my mom. She'll cry instantly. So a lot of respect for Marley, and what Marley gave an apple, the most beautiful apple in all the orchard every single day to the family. That's the most beautiful dog story I've ever heard in my life. And then they're really showing off. He's like, Jimmy, or not showing off, but we're seeing the property, and he's like, Jimmy Buffett was my uncle. You have no idea how long he was married to my aunt for.
They buried the lead on that. Proud of them for teasing, or like not teasing that.
Yeah. And Craig is champing at the bit to talk about his, dalliance with Jimmy Buffett's daughter, but he doesn't say it at all. And then it's like grilling, jumping in the pool.
Beautiful pool area.
Oh yeah. And then the rooms, like they're like, we're sorry. A few of you are going to have to sleep in tents, but don't worry. They're like glamping tents with air conditioning and lights. And Craig goes, I'm in a happy mood. I'm happy as a clam. I'll sleep in one of those tents. But then everyone else gets a room, barn loft, dungeon, camp campground site, or like a what is that called? Like a camp barn. There's just so many. There's so many different ways.
It's so big they have to drive around to drop people off at their specific cabin. But yeah, Molly and Sally's room has a little like hobbit hole room, and she goes, "There's your sex dungeon for Austin," and she's like, "Haha, you said it, not me." And then when they're by the pool, Sally leans over to Madison and is like, "Austin's looking sexy as fuck." I'm like, why can you not keep that to yourself? Like, what is happening? And
I want to ask you, now that we're on it,
Yeah.
I think that unpacking this Sally dynamic is interesting because that's what Southern Charm is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
We know that 3 episodes ago, Sally said, I have feelings for you. I'm catching feelings for you, Craig. Craig kind of politely said, I decline those advances. I just want to be friends. I know time has definitely, passed in a way, but I think that Sally has since said that she was maybe attracted to Craig and the feelings were bubbling up in the hot tub and everything, but that she always kind of related to Austin more. Like she was always kind of more enticed by the idea of dating Austin. Is that what you sort of imagine is the case here?
It sounds like they're kind of besties. He was pretty positive about her on Watch What Happens. Like he defended her as a friend and said that they get along and they hang out a lot. So I guess they do have more in common than her and Craig do. But yeah, a little weird that she was so excited to pounce on him like minutes after his breakup. And she's like, "Vanita, did you hear that he broke up?" And Vanita's like, "I'm not telling you shit." And then Madison, she's like, "Is he still with Audrey?" And she's like, "No." And they flash back to the phone call they withheld from us at the beginning where he reveals the breakup and that he said he feels gutted.
Yeah. This was wild to me. I can't believe this made it to air. Austin must have been so upset, I'll say. When this made it to the edit, he goes,
he
goes, "I gotta take a huge piss."
Why did he say that?
And I would never in my life.
You don't have to tell.
Yeah, you would never. I'd be thinking about it in my internal monologue. I'd be going, "Well, look at that beautiful view of itchy grass." And then he goes, "I'm taking a huge piss." And then what I couldn't stand is that it was, there was no chlorine in the pool. So there was a huge visible piss ring around him for about 5 or 10 minutes while Sally is talking about being sexually attracted to him. I'm like, he just took the biggest piss of his life in Whitner's pool. He just got there. Like, I don't know, the audacity of saying that. I could not believe it.
He defended himself on Watch What Happens because they were like, "Whitner, are you pissed that he pissed in your pool?" And he was like, "Yeah, what the hell?" And Austin's like, "It's not like I got out of the pool and pissed into the pool." And they were like, "Yeah, that would be insane, you freak."
Yeah, that's not really a defense. I mean, that would be unimaginable.
Like, if you want to get into like semantics, it is technically the same. The result is the same, but that's not something anyone would ever do. Like, that is like cruel and unusual.
Well, yeah, the result is definitely the same. Piss ends up in the pool, but obviously, I think we're talking for years about the time if Austin said, "I have to piss," and he gets up and he actually does it.
I'd be like, "Get out! You're banished from itchy grass."
Yeah, and Whitner didn't like it. Whitner goes, "That's our sacred pool." He goes, "My dad takes his
Marley's rolling in his grave."
Yeah, Marley liked to swim in there. My dad does his morning swim. It's like my dad had to hose out all the piss. He had to change the water because for some reason there was this weird thing that made Austin's yellow piss just stay in one spot for days. So it's Austin, I don't know who you were trying to win over with Pissgate like that.
Yeah, it's like, just do it quietly. No one will ever know.
Yeah, just do it quietly and do it quietly and start spinning around in circles and saying, "I love the temperature of this water."
Splashing around, obfuscate.
Yeah, say, "I love this pool. Look at how the water goes off on my hands and my feet," and just start flapping and spinning and racing back and forth. "Look at me, I'm Michael Phelps. I'm Michael Phelps." Start splashing and doing a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of ways to diffuse pee in the pool. Austin,
Look what I can do.
But he let it sit there. He's wallowing in his piss for about 15 minutes. And then Charlie goes to Craig. Craig is having a laugh. He's like, "This is the life. Itchy grass."
Oh my God.
Infinity
pools. What is
pools.
his deal? He's like, later when he talks to Shep, he goes, "You look at a place like this and you think, if you find the right person, you could just do this forever. And I'm like, all he ever thinks about is like having a partner and like living the good life with a partner. Like, it's kind of weird.
Really? Why?
It's just like, enjoy yourself. Like, it's like, he's like obsessed.
Yeah, I guess he does talk about it so much. It's like the number 1 or 2 thing we know about him. But I don't know. I'm having to like work hard to remember my being like upset with Craig for a while during the Paige and Craig breakup. Like I like Craig. I kind of think that he's right in a way to just be like, why the hell is everyone talking about me all the time? It's like Craig's name is at the tip of everyone's lips for this entire episode. All of the drama revolves around Craig in a way for things that he didn't even say. I mean, you got a full car just talking about Craig for the entire trip to Itchy Grass. So I don't know. I really have to be in the mindset to be like, I find Craig distasteful. I get what you're saying, that it's like he's a little too he wants that almost so much to the detriment of all else, and that he may be rushing into things with Charlie to get to that end goal.
Yeah, like I agree. I think at one point Austin, maybe accused him of cosplaying domestic bliss, which I kind of agree, where he wants to be like done. It's like a box he needs to check, and it's like, why don't you just like relax?
Yeah, I guess I don't fault him for loving, what life was like with Paige, and like him wanting to settle down and have kids and have a farm with her. Like that is a goal for
I know,
a
but
lot
she
of
like hated him, frankly.
Paige. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he lost his dream, and I think that there's a part of him that got so close that now he hasn't even had time to settle down. He's just aspirationally focused on that one thing that he wanted so badly, and maybe he's going to make rush decisions, and that could be what's going on with Charlie. But I don't really fault him for having that in mind as his heaven.
Sure.
Like that's what he dreams of. Well, people
Sure.
have dreams. So he's talking to Charlie, and he goes, Charlie goes, hey, guess what? I heard that you said that you better watch out because I'm gonna fall in love. Like this game of telephone, the actual words get twisted so hard to the point where Craig doesn't even know what to tell Shep that he said to Sally. No one even knows what the original intent was that Craig supposedly said. So Charlie's like, don't worry. I knew that you probably didn't say something like that. It didn't sound like you. And Craig's like, I get really triggered when people say things that are not indicative of my character. It's happened a lot to me. And if that's what bothers him, Sally did exactly that in that moment in the car.
Yeah, he's like, Sally's jealous. And then he's like, no bullshit. I already know how I feel about you. And they do the thing that they did before where they sort of cut together, them just smiling. Like they're not even talking. They're just like, hee 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 hee, like giggly back and forth.
Yeah. Cute.
Sure.
So
I just don't care. I'm like, I don't care. I just don't think it's going anywhere.
I do. I think they're still together.
I know you said that.
But okay, tell me, is it okay? Do you not care who Craig dates? Like, do you care if he had been dating Sally and he was like, I like Sally.
Well, that would be like insane. I'd be like, whoa, that's crazy.
But for me, because Craig is a cast member on Southern Charm for 10 years, who I feel like the show at a certain point, he is definitely the top 3 main cast member. Yeah. It matters to me when Craig has flirty energy with someone
She's
new.
Just not interesting to me.
Okay.
Like, I loved Naomi. I thought there was like a lot to her that I was like, oh my God, like they have these cats. Last time I looked at her TikTok, she had a raccoon. I think she was just raccoon sitting, but I was like, she was French. Like her parents owned like that French oyster restaurant. Like I was like, this is interesting to me, but she also hated him. Obviously Paige was a star. I'm just like, I think it's fine. It's cute. I'm just like not very invested is all.
Okay. I'm invested for what it means. Not necessarily that I think I'm fine with Charlie. Like I like her more, and I think that more will be revealed about her personality as time goes on. This is her first season. Like you don't get a good look, you don't get to know someone very well on the first season, especially if they're awkward on camera. But either way, it's just a part of Craig potentially finding love again and them having sort of cute chemistry that doesn't seem forced or fake. And like him saying off the cuff, I'm protective of you, I just thought was really sweet. But maybe you just have to be a fan of Craig's.
Yeah.
A big fan of Craig's.
It also just seems like it's being decimated from within from the very beginning. So they can't even make it work.
They're kind of having to whisper. It was almost what Craig was worried about with Sally. He was like, I think that, we're having a hard time navigating our relationship in the shadow of Sally. And it actually was the case because they're having to whisper at the pool around Sally so that she doesn't hear them talk about the statements that Sally made in the car. Like they are walking on shells around Sally in a way. But anyway, I don't know. I'm on board. Who else with me, Turtle Time listeners? Hashtag Craig and Charlie cute, or I hate their guts. Charlie's a dud.
I was trying to, I always forget. I was thinking about like other people that didn't quite stir me. And there was, we couldn't think of her name last time we talked, but I just remembered Olivia. And I know you liked her more than me. And I thought she was fine. I think she seemed like a cool person, but just like for the show, I understood why they maybe didn't bring her back.
Yeah.
Although I did enjoy that she was an Elvis fan. And I wanted to also say that I wonder if Whitney and or Olivia are going to see the Baz Luhrmann IMAX Elvis concert movie.
Oh my God. Good question to ask if we ever get around them. I have to imagine front row seat. Absolutely. Yes. Did you say it's coming to IMAX?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I'm imagining, I think Charleston's going to shut down for a day when all of them get to be when Baz Luhrmann's Elvis concert film gets into theaters there. So one thing I wanted to ask you is that I know you don't care from an entertainment standpoint, but do you think that sometimes an uncompelling person is the right person for a cast member that we find entertaining enough? Like, do we think that compelling people are the best people on earth? Or entertaining, compelling people are who everyone should be with? Or is it a detriment to Charlie that we don't find her, that some people don't find her endearing or compelling? So do we want Craig to be with someone that has on-camera personality and the it factor, like Naomi and Paige? I'm wondering if sometimes someone that is utterly uncompelling might be the best person for someone who is.
Usually in that case, they're just not really on the show.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Right. You're right. Okay. You answered my question perfectly. Okay. Then Craig goes to Sally at some point, right?
Yeah.
And
Sally's talking shit.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're
right. Yes. There's another thing after this.
I liked all the interactions of Craig with Sally. I really did, because it feels real. And he was kind of just like, she goes, your best friend told me this straight from the horse's mouth. And Craig goes, I don't give a shit what you think Shep said. I'm telling you right now, I've never talked about Charlie in a disparaging way. I would have never said anything like that. Why can't you just believe me? And it's like Sally using evidence of Shep. She goes, go ask Shep what he said to me. It's like, he doesn't need to. He just needs to like, he's so adept at navigating storylines that he's like, why do we need to go to a third party to discuss a thing that has to deal with us directly?
Right.
I'm not relying on what Shep said in a game of telephone to get me to the ultimate conversation I want to have with you, which is that I never said anything like that. And it's like Sally doesn't believe Craig when he says that directly to her, because it kind of causes her to go again and double down to Charlie and Vanita that this is just so representative of Craig's character and that Charlie needs to watch out. And I almost couldn't think of this as anything other than direct sabotage to try to ruin Craig and Charlie's relationship, because I don't think that even in her heart of hearts, she thinks that Craig talked about Charlie like that at that birthday dinner.
Right. Yeah. She leaves the conversation with Craig where he's like, we're not going to be able to be as close if I can't trust you, if you're saying all these things. And then she storms off saying that she's overwhelmed by these man children. And then she runs over and is like, Charlie, he definitely said that shit. Who do you believe? I know he said it. And then Craig walks by and he's like, I know you're talking about me. And she's like, we're not talking about you. Not everything is about you. But she very much is. Then we get to Austin and Rodrigo's, they're joking that they're staying on Brokeback Pond. Austin wears a kooky little hat to cover a zit that he has. They sit on the Adirondack chairs on the pond. It looks very lovely. And he goes, it's hard not to think of Audrey. And they show us the Pookie Monster clip, which is like some of the only footage we have of them because she was barely on the show.
Yeah, he goes, Pookie, Pookie, Pookie. He goes, where's my Pookie monster? And he's very, very, I'll say wistful. He has a straw or a piece of hay in his mouth, and he's looking out into the water, and he's like, I miss Pookie so bad. Do you think he got that blemish as karma for taking a big piss in Whitner's pool? Because it erupted.
Yeah, maybe so.
It erupted right after. You know what I mean?
Right. Or he's been tossing and turning over Audrey. Sometimes when I'm stressed, I'll get a shiner, or not a shiner, that's a bruise. Whatever.
Oh,
What do you want to call it?
I call them shiners. I call them blemishes. And Rod goes, I'm proud of you. He goes, you're Pookie. You let Pookie Monster free. You know, she was like, you didn't waste your time. Pookie Monster can now do whatever she wants in the world. And then Craig, this is towards the end of the episode. Craig goes, I want to say one thing. Craig gets introduced to his glamping tent, and Whitner's dad goes, get in there, big boy. And he goes, oh my God, this glamping tent is awesome. Then he takes an outdoor shower. Then he goes to Shep's barn loft. And Shep is reading a book. And Craig goes, what the hell are you doing reading books? And he goes, it's a cowboy book. And I looked it up. It's called The Hell-Bent Kid by Charles O. Locke. Total cowboy book. And then that's when Craig says, God, I could get used to a place like this. A wife, kids, bees, just staring out at that pool, looking at itchy grass. And then he goes, guess what? I don't want to make this a big deal, Shep, but some shit that you said about me made it to Charlie. It's about me saying that she's going to fall in love with me too fast. And Shep goes, I did not say anything even close to that. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then he says multiple times that he would never say anything like that, and that he doesn't think that anyone in the world would believe that Craig has nefarious intent with Charlie because it's just not a part of his character. And I fully believe Shep in that moment.
Yeah, he's like, no one's more respectful of females than Craig Conover. That's his whole thing. And then they talk shit about Sally. They call her a gossip mill and, again, an agent of chaos. Basically, the episode ends on them saying Sally is chaos. And then, yeah, like coming up next week, it seems like Sally is really pouncing on Austin, and that's going to be the next phase that we're in.
Yeah. Kiss me, or at one point in Mexico, she goes, when the hell are we going to make love to each other, Austin? The chaos line, Sally is chaos, is something directly lifted from what Craig said earlier at that whatever event that was, when he said she's a tornado that will take anything in her path and kind of like pull a like the Wizard of Oz tornado or whatever. And yeah, so they're saying that she's an agent of chaos. But great. I thought it was a fun episode, at least for the last 25 or 30 minutes. Once you get to Whitner's farm, I was having the time of my life.
No, that was a fun new setting. Loved to see it. Yeah, enjoying the season, but I don't know. I'm afraid. I guess it's nice that that Sally's going to switch to Austin, so we have something new to deal with. You know, but it seems like that's all we have. Is Sally is the crux of this entire season.
Yeah. I mean, Sally is pulling a Angelica on Vanderpump Rules, where it's like, at a certain point, even if everybody doesn't like you or like what you're doing, you're propelling the entire season with what you're creating.
Yeah. I saw Sally did a TikTok where she's sort of playfully cutting between Austin and Craig, right?
Yeah, it was like, look at me. It was like, look at me. I'm in heated rivalry. And I was like, oh my God, I know that reference. It's a show that's on currently that a lot of people are watching. And then we didn't say this, but at one point Rod goes, Craig and Austin won't quit each other. They need to ride up Brokeback Mountain and settle things. And then when Austin goes with Rodrigo to the lake, he goes, we're like Brokeback Pond over here. I was like, gosh, Brokeback Mountain is really on the tips of all of your tongues.
The 20th Annie.
It is? Is that what's going on?
Last year was.
Oh, so they probably...
I saw it and they re-released it.
Oh, so they were probably really, 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 really thinking about the 20th anniversary of Brokeback Mountain.
Good movie.
Speaking of cowboy books, Larry McMurtry was the one who
Yeah.
adapted that short story. Wonderful. Wonderful.
We said it
writer.
before, short stories make good movies.
We have?
I have to someone. Me and Jimmy talked about that because it's like the best kernel.
Oh,
You know?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes, sorry. but-
Sometimes you're too beholden to like adapt
Yeah.
a novel because there's
Yeah.
like too much to recreate, but a short story, you're like, you can go wild.
Yeah, and then you get to pad it out with you want. But yeah, adapting a long novel, you're cutting a lot of great stuff versus a short
Yeah.
story. Wow. That makes a lot of sense to me. I was just going to say that there was like the reverse where I was going to send you this, but it was kind of too unwieldy. But there's a Cape Fear TV show coming out,
Yeah.
like an 8-episode one, and somebody goes, "Just what we want, an hour or a 2-hour movie spread out for 8 episodes." You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's the exact opposite of what you're talking about. No one wants that. We want a boring.
Amy Adams.
I think
and
Amy Adams and
Who's the psycho?
Javier Bardem.
Oh, it
and
is?
I think because he kind of looked. He was kind of. I think he's.
Oh, and Patrick Wilson. That works.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of of the mind of like Cape Fear is perfect. Like I do not need to see that storyline drawn out in any way. But enough about adaptations of films and television shows. Why don't I, both of us, pull a full blown Austin and Whitner's pool and take a huge certified turtle piss, and then come back to recap the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Let's do it.
We're back.
Beverly Hills. She.
Oh my God. Holy shit. I haven't heard she in a while. Oh my God. Talk about being thrown to the proverbial wolves.
I wish Kyle was using Kevin Lee for her daughter's wedding.
Yeah. We all hated what Kevin Lee said, and we talked about it at length. We said, Kevin Lee, that was horrible what you said to Katie Maloney. But I think if we wanted to dip our toes in the water and just say, and Kevin Lee, if he spoke to camera on Beverly Hills and said, I will never say anything like that again, I'd be ready to consider seeing him on television again.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a lot, but apparently Martin Short, I think, was, father of the bride was Kevin Lee. So this episode of Beverly Hills, I got to say something to you, Amy, directly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how you would fall on this episode of Beverly Hills because you've been having a fun time.
Yeah.
And you are enjoying Beverly Hills. Like it's striking a chord with you because of your deep love for Beverly Hills. And
Yeah.
I've been more on the fence, but I still like it and I appreciate everything. I think it's better than the last couple of seasons. But where did you fall on this one? Were you reveling in the fun, or were you like, it's losing steam? How did you feel overall?
I feel like this was the first one possibly that felt like a little bit of a stall out. I think partially because it just continued from last week. So I think it was like 20 minutes, like half of the episode was the dinner from last week continued. So it felt like a little lacking momentum because it was exciting last week, but I was like, if it could have just been done. Although I am I think this is the most I've liked Bose so far as an antagonist towards Amanda, because she's the only one that's like, I am not playing games about this bitch. Like, I will tell her exactly what I'm thinking and that she's ridiculous.
Oh, it was awesome. Bose saying like, this is how adults behave, is they're able to have confrontations with people and stuff. I was like, oh my God, Bose, you are killing it at the dinner table. I loved those moments too. I will say I was very, very upset to have to go back to Dorit versus Kyle. I could not stand it last season. And it's like, Dorit was like, it was like a reveal at the end of it. Like, we're going to be so excited. And I was like, oh my God, it's my worst nightmare. She goes, I'm starting to think differently about Kyle again. And I was like, no, oh my God, no, we can't go back to that. No.
Yeah. I know. It's like never solved. It keeps slipping through our fingers.
I don't really know what Kyle can do. Like, Kyle just cannot. Kyle said it, and it was a fourth wall blink and a wink. She goes, how can I not talk about Dorit when all she is talking about this season is her husband? And I want to be honest about how I feel about the PK situation. It's like, she's in a rock and a hard place. Every time I say anything about PK, Dorit is going to get very upset with me, but I also don't know what else to talk about with her.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't envy
and
Kyle's position at all.
No, it sucks. And she also has to, for some reason, film nonstop with Amanda, which is a cross to bear. But unfortunately for Kyle, Rachel Zoe fully takes Dorit's side and sort of rips Kyle passive aggressively, sort of a new one, because she goes, we need to support Dorit right now, and us women that are going through stuff like this need our friends to just support us completely without question. And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but there's a little more to it, and they are longtime friends, so it's a little more complicated than that. And it was a little annoying because I feel like Dorit got the win of having Bose on her team last season, the newbie with a lot of energy, and now she also gets Rachel, and so she feels completely validated. And I'm a little bit like, no.
Yeah. Oh my God. She she was like clapping and begging for high
She's like,
fives.
that's right, sister.
Rachel's going this like long-winded thing, like, which basically the summary of it was like, sometimes we just need to vent and we don't want everything that we say picked apart. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess, but that's completely different for Kyle, and I understand why Kyle was like, I'm not going to be like that with you. But Dorit was like, didn't you hear what Rachel Zoe said? Like, didn't that make so much sense to you? That's exactly how I felt. So I didn't know, but Rachel Zoe was also like, she was kind of thinking about herself, and
Right.
she was thinking about her relationship to Amanda so far. She was like, I want to vent and say everything that I'm thinking, and I want to be confrontational, and I can't always be my best self, and so I don't want Amanda to judge me, but also she's just going through a lot of personal stuff too. So it was all sort of like culminating in her having that breakdown at the table.
Right.
We don't really have to talk about the verbally accosted thing. I think that soon this is going to be such a trope of using hyperbolic language that all Bravo celebrities are going to realize that it doesn't go well. It's never gone well.
Mhm.
It's saying accosted, saying assaulted, verbally assaulted, say any of these words. Usually everyone runs to the defense of the person to say that is not at all what they meant. So
Right.
and the fact that Amanda's like, I think I said that right. Let me look it up at the table. It's like, if you're having to look up words, it's like the point is already made that you might not know
Right.
what the hell you said.
Erica's like, I know what accosted means. Let's move on. And
Erica.
Dorit does one later. But yeah, it's like all back and forth with the Amanda shit, and she's still harping on the fact that she agreed with Kyle, and then later Sutton is like, she very much had her own opinion, which I actually felt like what she said was kind of passive when they played the clip. So I'm like, this is all a waste of time, frankly. Yeah.
One of the things that I think is so lame about this episode is that Amanda didn't really say anything about Dorit at all. Like,
There's nothing there.
She was just nodding. So the Dorit going back again to talk about this more, like, there's so much more that has stemmed from this, from this fight or whatever. But the actual initial thing that Dorit is mad at doesn't even really exist.
Right.
So it makes it even worse.
Right. And then, Kyle and Dorit go back and forth for a good, 10 minutes. Kyle is trying to say, every time she tries to relate or something, it goes wrong. She's saying how upset Dorit was about the whole PK wanting to go to Florida thing. And she goes, I saw you cry that day. You never cry. And then in her confessional, Kyle is like, all I'm saying is, why poke the bear? If it's not going well with PK, why are you going to pile on? Her ongoing commentary is that Dorit is so pissed that she doesn't care about poking the bear or stoking the flames, which part of me is like, okay, then like let her do that. She obviously doesn't want your input. So just like Erica's saying, just stay out of it. Like, it's not worth it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Kyle just needs to say something like, Dorit, I'm trying to build my friendship back with you, but I can't offer any takes on PK because of the Mauricio situation, and you hate when I talk about PK. So I'm just not going to indulge in that aspect of your life
But I feel like she'd still be pissed if she didn't say anything. She'd be like,
guess,
why aren't you supporting me?
Kyle goes, she goes, we had a dinner about you shit talking PK. Do you remember? And they make it like Gandalf just launched against the Balrog, and they have echoing, and they have birds flying out of the rooftop or whatever. And it's like, wasn't that crazy? Like,
It's the title of the episode.
yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, she raised her voice. Do you remember? And then Dorit goes, yes, Kyle. I can remember. And then it echoes again, and the last birds that were still in the Belfry Tower are also fly out. And I'm getting so tired of Dorit mimicking people. She does it all the time. Whenever Sutton or anyone says a characteristic line, she says it back to them in their voice. And it's like the most like schoolyard retort ever. She really, she needs to give up mimicking people after they say something to her.
Yeah. She also did a thing where, because Kyle keeps telling her to let her talk, which is an ongoing thing that people say, that Dorit doesn't let anybody get a word in and that she's long-winded. And so then when they're fighting, and she tells her to let people fucking talk, Dorit is acting like her mouth is sealed shut, and she keeps pointing to her closed mouth, and it's really annoying. Kathy thinks it's funny, and Kyle's like, grow up, Dorit.
Kathy thinks that she's at comedy hour. She's like doubled over, slapping her. She's going, oh my God. She's like, her lips are sealed, and she's pointing to them. Like, you got Kathy. Like, she is on the hook for Dorit doing that kind of stuff. And then I will say, Amanda tries to get tries to reorient it back. She was like, I was having fun. She goes, I just learned something. Confrontation in which this style goes is not what I like in terms of how I interact with friends. And in my years of being alive from 40 from birth, never have I had an interaction like that at a dinner party. It's like, oh my God, it was not that bad. We respect the anniversary of Zion, but my God, I think we're making a little too much of how Dorit handled that dinner. Right. And then Dorit gets back at her I'm like, so Dorit is divisive to me because I love her. I think she's amazing for Beverly Hills. She needs to be on forever.
She's scrappy.
She's scrappy as hell, but she does annoy me and does a lot of odd things. And she goes, 40 years of life. Didn't you run away from a cult? And everybody's like, oh my God, Dorit, what the hell? We weren't going to talk about the cult shit right now. Like, no one is on Dorit's side because it was just kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. And then Amanda has that detached, withdrawn confrontation side where she goes, cult? Yes, I was in a cult. But what does that have to do with things that we are speaking about now?
That's a story for another day. Also, we skipped over when Bose initially kind of rips Amanda a new asshole, where she's like, you can't be in charge of how people respond to you. That is an adult thing to understand. And you can't walk around the planet thinking everyone's going to agree with you. And you're kind of talking to her like she's an idiot. Like, what don't you understand about the way of the world? And at one point, Amanda was like, can't we have disagreements without conflict? And everyone goes, no, that's like this one and the same.
Yeah, and it was a little like, I didn't want them to, like, it was almost like they were talking about the premise of the show, but they all tried to reemphasize that they're actually just talking about real life, that you can't control people, and that confrontations naturally happen. And then Amanda, she keeps talking about it. She goes, my body experienced that as a physiological threat, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, that's horrible. I don't think that. I think that we still just have to evaluate it based off what we saw that Dorit actually did.
Right. Yeah. Bose is like, your expectations of no confrontation are unrealistic. And Erica agrees. And they're all just like, buck up, babe. Like, you're literally getting paid for conflict. That's what you are getting paid for. Yeah.
We got to talk about this. There are some whispers that Amanda bowed out like halfway through filming or after the season wrapped. Yeah, I just want to, if anyone wants to talk about this more, because I didn't do full research on it, but like the after show, like Amanda doesn't have a seat in some of the episodes, and she did at one point, and that she took it out of her bio. So quite possibly some shit went down with Amanda that we don't know about yet, but just something to think about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I checked for the Summer House after show and it didn't exist. So I'm like, well, that's the one I would watch. So we'll see if I ever end up. Maybe if something really wild happens, I'll watch the Beverly Hills one. But yeah, so Rachel starts breaking down at this because Sutton goes, she's sort of whispering, what Dorit said to Amanda wasn't that bad. And Rachel's like, yeah. And I'm someone who knows verbal assault all too well, which it seems implied she means Roger. And this is the same day that her divorce leaked to the press or whatever. So she's very vulnerable. She puts her sunglasses on. She's like crying, which I frankly like don't know if she ever even cried once on the Rachel Zoe project. Like she like really doesn't. So that's kind of a big deal. And that's why everyone's like, damn, what the hell? And she goes outside and she's like, I'm sick of holding shit together all the time. I can't take the high road all the time. And it's like, it's obviously just about what she has going on. Not really as so much about Dorit, but like she's just like at her wit's end.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's Dorit loves Rachel Zoe because she stuck up for her,
obviously.
and also I think she's just enticed by the new cast
Power
member
player.
coming in. Totally. Two cakes come out, a little bit of comedy. They're like, oh, the cakes! Oh my God, Rachel or Dorit's outside, and they're like, well, bring them anyway because we want to leave. This dinner sucked so bad. And then they just kind of cut away from that dinner. It's over. I think people ate cakes. And then they show this wonderful scene, kind of a serene, beautiful moment where Dorit is pulling a full-blown, I can't even think of one, full-blown mank in, what's that city that he goes to? Oh, full-blown mank doing the initial pass on Citizen Kane. She goes, call me Dorit. And it's like, and then she keeps saying a bunch of lines, and it's like, oh my God, this is great, right?
I couldn't help but wonder, would I be okay after PK?
Oh yeah, it was like I was like, oh my, I was like, you don't need a ghostwriter. Keep ripping like this. She was like smoking a cigarette, writing a little pencil behind her ear. It was really for me evoked a writer writing a book for sure.
It was giving writing a book. Also, a quick glimpse that Bose gave her teenage daughter a Maserati, which is insane. I
know.
I'm like, it would be spoiling her rotten to get her a RAV4.
It would. You can't even call it spoiled rotten. Like $110,000 Maserati,
it's absurd,
as your first car. Like, my God, I know people have money, but oh my God, I could not believe it. That is a wild first car.
Upsetting.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle and a bunch of people, her daughter, Mauricio.
I liked that it goes Kyle and Jen, friend / personal assistant. And I was like, that Kyle was in the edit being like, call her my friend. Yeah. I'm a nice person. Yeah. She's my personal assistant, but she's a friend.
I consider her a friend. And they're going around. I mean, like, there's one quality to this space that I would say transcends all others: rustic.
Definitely rustic, which I didn't realize. I saw pictures from this wedding and I didn't remember it looking like that. I need to go back and see how it turned out, which I thought it was cool. I wonder where that was, like Malibu maybe?
Yeah, I kept thinking Malibu or just somewhere where a rustic sensibility is able to kind of seep through in every aspect. And then she says something like, Kyle goes, we were going to do it in Aspen, but it got too complicated. And I wanted to ask you, did they want a little segment of this on Beverly Hills and it wasn't going to like work out in Aspen? But I don't think that we capture the wedding on Beverly Hills. So I just didn't know really what happened to like make the dream wedding not come true.
Right. Maybe Aspen is just cursed the way Angel couldn't plan that trip. I also want to say, so Mauricio's in this scene. We discussed he was on Potomac. He keeps popping up on Beverly Hills despite not being with Kyle anymore. And I just got a clip that he was on the Shaw's Valley Persian style talking to Mercedes about being an agent. I was like, what the hell? He can't be stopped.
Maybe that production company does all of these productions and they just text Mauricio whenever they're going to be filming around town. And he goes, I'd love to pop in if you don't mind. What are you filming? The Valley Persian
time on
style?
my hands.
He's like, Beverly Hills, and then I'll go to the Persian style filming. Yeah, he's going nuts. And this was shocking to me. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I thought I knew Mo, but I don't know shit about him. Kyle goes, Mo, wants to DJ at this wedding. If he had his druthers, he'd DJ the shit out of this thing. And I think Kyle does not want that at all. And they're both saying that this is representative of a midlife crisis. And I would have never in a million years thought Mauricio wanted to be a DJ.
What is this pipeline? I've never considered this as a path. You think of getting a motorcycle, getting a hot rod car, having a young girlfriend, maybe getting your hair done in Turkey or something like that. I didn't know that the DJ pipeline was the new path until Kyle did it, and then Kyle Cook, and then now Mauricio.
I think each man has their own what's the golden road that leads them to happiness, and it could be anything. Remember on Summer House when they were like, my dad started buying a bunch of guitars, and like he just wouldn't stop buying guitars or something. So I think everyone has a vision. But you know what Mauricio was thinking? He saw Kyle Cook DJing his ass off in the Hamptons about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And it inspired him to want to be a DJ too. And he goes, I've always loved music.
Like, okay, go off. He goes, I have a lot of time on my hands. Why wouldn't I take up a hobby? And Kyle jokes that his DJ name would be Momentum.
Yeah. Was she laughing at the idea that was true, what he had uttered out of his lips, or was she creating it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if she made that up on the spot or if she was dogging on his actual DJ name. Either way, back to the drawing board. And she makes a comment that 6 figures would be ideal. And I'm like, if you can't pull off this fucking wedding for under $1 million, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, Mauricio keeps talking about the budget. He's like, that's gonna build up the budget. They say no more B word. But yeah, that's an expensive wedding. I was sorry, I got lost trying to think of what a better Mauricio DJ name would be. It's like DJ names don't need to be plays on your name. Like they can just be anything. I was like, Mauricio U Masky, and he wears a mask. But then it's like, why would he have his full name as a DJ name and one play on it? Like he just needs to like go out of the box and just think of something that isn't just a play on his name.
Yeah. He's Mexican, right? I think maybe he could do something, a play on his heritage, or maybe something about his being in real estate.
Yeah, what's a fun... yeah, it's like, sorry, we shouldn't sit here and just speculate on what Mauricio's DJ name, but definitely real estate. Real estate is definitely an avenue that he could pursue.
DJ Dealmaker.
Oh, I like that. You'd hope that it'd have some sort of also association with what he's doing now as a DJ. It's just so hard to think of stuff just kind of off the cuff. So let's leave that to Turtle Time listeners. What's a better name? Because I gotta be honest, Momentum landed like a big thud to me.
Absolutely. Okay, let's cruise around. We have Rachel checks in with Kathy again. They're doing IV drips. She's really just saying that she's having a hard time with her divorce. There's not much more to it. And that Dorit needs support, and that she misses Rachel doesn't live near her family, and that she wants to see them more, and she also wants to go out more and like make out with guys.
Yeah. She also goes, these divorce headlines are following me around like the plague. And I was like, sorry, I love Rachel Zoe more than anybody in the world, but I was like, who cares? It was on page 6 in Daily Mail. I as someone who has to look at those sites every single day, it's not a big deal that made it to the front of the page for a day. Like I couldn't believe, I mean, I guess she just really didn't want it out there, but I would be so numb to headlines at that point. She's really reeling from it. But anyway, and then Bose, very sad for Bose.
I told you, I'm concerned about this whole thing. I'm a little like weirded out that, okay, sorry, we'll go through it first, but she has a call with her doctor about the egg retrieval, and the eggs were successfully fertilized, but they were supposed to reach this next stage and they didn't. So it was a flop. And obviously the biggest factor, as we know, eggs, you have eggs your whole life. And so the older you get, the worse for wear they are. And the doctor's like, we can support the egg, but there's nothing we can do to make the egg itself better. And, the next option is like an egg donor. But even that we have to hurry up about. And, she says, Bose says she's concerned that she could go through all of that shit again and have the same result. And Keely's just like, yeah, like all we can do is focus on being healthy for the next round. And I was like, how about you say we don't have to do it again?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. She's in her 50s. It's not going to get better.
Yeah. I completely I agree with you, and it's like it's hard to talk about because it's such a it's a beautiful thing for them as a couple, obviously, to want a child together, but also at a certain point you just have to acknowledge the reality. And I also think it's just like I don't it's a lot of work and a lot of emotional stress to put on Bose, and also like she was really sick and stuff, and to go through that entire process again for what might not be another good outcome is kind of rough. So that's a couple decision that they need to make together.
I know. Their whole relationship, there's something a little off for me, that I feel like something's going to come up. It just feels a little strange for me, the pace at which they're moving and the way they're trying to make this happen. But maybe I'm wrong, but I feel something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I do too. I do too. I'm worried. I'm just worried that Bose is like, this is becoming like 70% of her mental energy is dedicated to like fulfilling this wish, which might only be Keely's wish deep down, that kind of makes me upset just seeing how much like turmoil, it's putting her through. But we'll see. I mean, we'll get to the, we'll see the next stages of this, this season. But the next season, it was a scene where I couldn't keep it in me to think about. I was just like, they just all sit down for lunch and they're like talking about Amanda, and it's like getting to the root of Amanda. I guess, right? Sutton's like, I don't know who the hell she is. She's so quiet and calm that I want to know what's deep under the surface. It's like they're alluding to the cult. And then Rachel goes, Am I okay? I thought a cult is a bad thing that you don't want to say you did. Am I? And I'm like, yeah, all right. Okay. I don't know. Just talk about the cult or not.
Right.
And then we get to that. It kind of is a segue towards Kyle having to spend more time with Amanda.
I'm like, girl, you got dogged on her being your scene partner. That sucks, because it seems like no one else will do it. So in every episode, she has to hang out with her. And I'm like, you guys aren't even friends. This sucks. They go on a hike. So it's Kyle and Amanda hike interspersed with that lunch talking about Amanda. And they're basically Kyle and Amanda talking about what Dorit said. And Kyle's like, she doesn't ever give me the benefit of the doubt. If anyone else said the things I said, she would be okay with it. But when I say it, she gets pissed.
And they show a moment like for Kyle, great edit. Bose says the exact same thing that Kyle says, and Dorit responds positively to it. It's like, it's there. Like, it's very true what Kyle's saying.
Yeah, and she's like, she's just too angry to take advice right now. And she does say, Kyle goes, I do want to hear more about this cult shit. She's like, yeah, we'll talk about it at some point. And they say Dorit isn't the best version of herself right now. And Amanda's like, but she thinks that she's just being open and honest. And then they cut to the other conversation where Dorit's like, I'm being the open and honest version of myself. No BS. And it's, they're all just talking about Amanda. Rachel says something that I think we said last week, that it was ballsy of Amanda to punt the issue to Kyle and say, she's the one that said it. Like she kind of threw her under the bus.
But she did, in a way. Like, that's why I'm like, you made me on Amanda's side for something because of how big of a deal you made that comment. Kyle was the one who was being like, I really think it's horrible how Dorit talks about PK. And Amanda was like, wow, yeah, that would get bad. So, yeah, it was right for Amanda to be like, take it up with Kyle, because Kyle is doing things that Dorit does not like behind the scenes, or, in scenes that she's not in. But I gotta say, this episode really fizzles out. I was like, what the hell is going on? Kyle goes, I would like to know more about you being in a cult. And Amanda goes, okay, well, let me tell you something about it. And then it cuts before we can hear Amanda starting to talk to Kyle about it. So what do we have to look forward to next week?
Dorit goes out with Mo to talk about PK. Erica talks about her big Shrek boyfriend. And then it seems like Amanda hosts something. And the clip they showed is Sutton going, "You can't be such a wimp," and Amanda goes, "You're in my home. Don't call me a wimp."
That is so
I love
Amanda.
housewives get so pissed when you disrespect them in their own home, which
Oh.
is not something that would ever really occur to me unless they were disrespecting my home. But I wouldn't be like, "How dare you disrespect me in my own home?"
I think we've talked about this. It
It
never
always happens.
never comes across to me to be like, "You're in my home." In my home? You did that and it was within my home? It's like you don't get special privileges. I'd be inviting people all the time in my home and say stuff that
I let you into my home.
it's a home that I live in. It's like, yeah, you don't hear that all the time. You only hear it when someone wants to fight with someone or get mad at someone for some reason. But I didn't love this episode. I don't like the Kyle and Dorit stuff, like I said. Amanda, I'm like, oh boy, I love that you're a villain, but I'm also not that enticed by anything she has to say. Like, I'm not even looking forward to her saying that she's in a cult. Like, I was in a cult. It sucked.
I have a feeling it won't be that interesting.
I was in a cult. I love it. It's like the cult. Cult is such a like. Cult is like a word where it's like we've heard of cults and we think like that one where it's like we're gonna drink Gatorade together and poison ourselves. There's some cults where it's just like you and I probably walked into a building and a cult seminar was happening and we were like, gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's probably
Yeah.
going to be in some low level shitty cult that nobody cares about.
For sure. I'd be surprised if it paid off in dividends, but we'll see. But I hope they get back on track because I had been enjoying the season thus far, and I don't know. We'll see. I am hopeful because I've been pleasantly surprised so far.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, whenever I get to the end of the episode, I like to think, have we fulfilled our duties as Turtle Time host, and in which mainly the mission is to talk about news and then recap shows of the week. I think without a doubt we've done all of those things. And I think that if I was grading this Turtle Time episode, I would give it maybe quite possibly a B+.
Okay.
Amy, how do you feel?
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, there's some huge edits we're going to make, and I think whatever ends up on the other side is going to end up being a B+. So I'm proud of us. And then I want to say that if you enjoyed this episode, I'm not gonna go nuts, but I am just going to say, if you do want more Turtle Time, there is a Patreon where you can go to where there are multiple tiers that you can pay for, and you get access to some of the best content you've ever seen in your life. I couldn't even imagine for the first time clicking Turtle Time Patreon and seeing what the hell we have available to people.
Yep. $6 a weekly additional episode recapping Vanderpump Rules from the start. $10 you get that plus a monthly movie. This month it's Twilight. Next month it will be Showgirls. We've also done Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We've done When Harry Met Sally. We've done Something's Gotta Give. You get all of that for $10. Even if you just join for 1 month, you could listen to 100+ hours of Vanderpump recaps and then like 8 hours of movie recaps.
It kind of bowls me over to imagine the type of avalanche of content you could have if you subscribe to any of these tiers. It's sort of ungodly, the amount of content you and I have created together. So spend a lot of money with us. You will be pleasantly surprised when you see that content. And then there are a lot of free ways to support Turtle Time. If you made it this far, you could dedicate maybe 2 to 3 minutes of just doing a lot of social stuff online that really helps people get to know what Turtle Time is. You can comment anywhere. You can give us a thumbs up on YouTube, hype us up on YouTube. An Apple podcast review is like the holy grail. We love it. And we love just when Villa Rosa VIPs comment on our discussion forums each week and let us know, how they felt about the episode. So there are so many ways you can tap into Turtle Time.
Our newest review from 2 days ago by Flashdancer69. The title is Impressed, 5 stars. Intellectuals meets Bravo.
Whoa!
I'll take it.
Wait till they hear this episode when they think that they just still were listening to 2 intellectuals.
We're like brain dead.
Wow, no, that is nice to impress someone. Oh my God. I didn't see that
Feeling
review.
good.
So I love you reading a review like that I haven't read before. So that's a wonderful way that you can, make Turtle Time get more popular, possibly, if you want it to be more popular. But
Please.
we love you all so much. Amy and I have big plans this weekend. I think we're going to be teasing out some major update. Let's just say Amy and I might be pretty close to where the big game, where a big game might be erupting, and so we're gonna tease out some updates. But we've got big weekend plans. I mean,
Yeah, watch this space.
yeah. All right, we love you all so much. Turtle Time is officially concluded for the week. Goodbye. We'll be back next week. We love
Bye.
you.